This is the one thing that you could do in your coaching business that could completely change the game for you. It will help you make more money with less stress. Ironically, this is also the biggest mistake that I see coaches make as they build their coaching business. It really stems from the fact that we have to understand that the Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 rule, also applies to business. 20% of your clients will usually generate 80% of the profits in your business. Now, what we should do as coaches, as founders, as small business owners, is to double down on our top 20% clientele. But the only way to do that is to understand who they are better, so that when you design your content strategy or refine your content strategy, you are speaking to that top 20%. This will make it a lot easier to attract more of them and bring in more profits into your business. How do you even discover who your top 20% are? We're not going to do this based on intuition or based on guesses, because I see a lot of coaching businesses that go awry just because the coach starts to make decisions based on feelings instead of based on data. Even as coaches, we have to start to make data-driven decisions in our business. Even as small business owners, we should act and mirror some of the best qualities of big business. An example is Amazon. Even though Amazon is a giant, a huge business, there are things that Amazon does that we could apply to small business. One of them being making data-driven decisions. They don't release products based on feeling. They don't suggest products based on feeling. Every decision they make is based on data. And so start to have that mindset and mentality in your business. The big question is, how do I identify my top 20%? Payment data is the answer. We're not going to rely on feelings. We're going to rely on data. Through whatever payment processor you accept payments, be it Stripe, QuickBooks, PayPal, there is a way for you to export that data. For the example of this video, let's just pretend that there is a coach with 10 clients. 8 of those clients pay $1,000. 2 of them pay $10,000. Who are your top 20%? In this case, it's going to be the 2 clients that pay $10,000. Where most coaches go wrong is that instead of doubling down on getting more $10,000 clients, they mix and scatter their efforts. And so they're trying to market to the $10,000 client, they're trying to get more of the $1,000 client. Now that in this example, we've recognized the top 20%, we have to start observing and being an investigator. What did these 2 people pay you for? What problem did they pay you to solve? How did they find out about you? And what do they have in common, even outside of what they pay you for help with? I'll use myself as a personal example. My top 20% clients, the first thing that they pay me for is to help them grow their personal brand on LinkedIn. A lot of them have built very successful businesses, but have done it through more old school efforts, such as referrals, such as cold calling. And now they're ready to stand out. Now they're ready to be a thought leader. They come to me already knowing that becoming a thought leader on LinkedIn will only benefit their business. The first thing that they're paying me for is help with growing their visibility, the personal brand, their thought leadership on LinkedIn. What problem are they paying me to solve? A lot of them struggle with knowing what to say and how to say it, especially in a way that will position them as a thought leader versus just being salesy. They want to be strategic, knowing how to position them where they are seen as a thought leader, knowing what stories of theirs they should share to position themselves to do so, and to market themselves to their top 20%. So that's what they're really paying me for, is to be a strategist and to guide them through the process of learning how to become a content creator while also building their business, because there's a huge learning curve. What do they have in common outside of how I serve them? And this is where a lot of coaches also make a mistake, because they only see their clients as transactions. If you really want to differentiate yourself in business, one of the greatest differentiations you could have is to develop the skill of observation, to pay attention even between the lines of what your clients share, and to make notes of patterns, because the more you observe, the more you're able to see recurring patterns into what your top 20% clients have in common outside of what it is that you sell them. I'm going to use myself as a personal example, and I'm going to share with you a few things that my top clients have in common outside of just wanting to grow on LinkedIn. They tend to be between late 40s and about 55 years old. They are self-made millionaires. They're usually the first and the only in their family to build a multi-million-dollar business and to become very financially successful. They've been in business for at least 10 years. They are married. Most of them have been in a committed marriage for 20 plus years, and their children are around my age, which we won't get into. They are very into personal development. They believe in God, but at the same time, they also are kind of spiritual. So they may have a religion, but they also believe in affirmations and meditation because they have a tendency to be very into personal development and self-growth. Who isn't, right? They show up to meetings a few minutes early because they know that I start meetings on time. So they always show up a few minutes early, about 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes early, and they show up prepared. Although they are very financially well off, they aren't really flashy. They tend to be on the low-key side, even if they have multiple homes or this or that. They're the type of financially successful person that is not necessarily wearing brand names, maybe even wearing a t-shirt. They know their limits, and they practice self-care. So they're very self-aware is really the key. And I could go on and on just because I pay attention, I observe, and I listen. I don't just listen or observe things that are only relevant to LinkedIn because this is a LinkedIn transaction. That's not how you want to be. The more you observe, the more patterns you could recognize, and the more patterns you recognize, the more you can refine your marketing. What is the true power of understanding who your clients are and observing these patterns, knowing what your clients have in common outside of what you sell them? The power is this. The more you know about your top 20% clients, the better you could attract more people like them to your business. For example, if I were to do a training, a live video on how to grow your personal brand on LinkedIn, I wanted to attract my top 20% clients who are CEOs. What I could do is have a title more like how to build your personal brand as a CEO to attract top talent. That type of video wouldn't really appeal to a solopreneur or someone who's just starting and getting clients. That video would appeal to a CEO who has employees and who really wants to attract top talent to their business. I'll share another example. If I wanted to do a post about personal development, I would have to think of my top 20% clients. Who have they most likely learned from in regards to personal development? Most of my clients have learned from people like Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins. And so if I were to share some lessons on personal development, I could do a post like 10 business and life lessons that I learned from reading Jim Rohn. I could also do 10 lessons that I learned from Tony Robbins, versus if I were to do a video like 10 lessons that I learned from Alex Hormozi. Unfortunately, a lot of my top clients, even if they've read his book, and even though Alex is awesome, they just don't know really who he is. And if they know who he is, they don't have that emotional connection with his content as they do someone like Tony Robbins, because they've been learning from Tony for 30 years. So those are just two very simple examples, but the ultimate power of knowing and observing and recognizing patterns between your top clients is the ability to attract more people like them to your business so that you get more clients like your top clients and the more revenue that you could bring into your business. In the next video, maybe I'll share some strategies on how you as a coach can start to leverage ChatGPT to refine your marketing strategy for your top 20% clients. I hope this video was valuable. If it was, go to the first comment and join the newsletter. Every single day, we share a valuable personal branding strategy or a strategy to grow your coaching business. God bless you and have a great day.